72 degrees. On average, we should be sitting at 60 here on this 21st of April, so a good 5 to 10 plus degrees above average. 13 weather ball, well, let's continue the warm up. It continues into our Wednesday as temperatures for many soar above 70 degrees. And one thing's for sure, we do have a quiet day tomorrow start to finish. 13 weather ball brought to you by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. As for the view out of Grand Haven today, well, we started the day with some blue sky across West Michigan. Then those clouds rolled in, and for some, even a few drops of rain, maybe even a crack of thunder. But as quickly as that worked through, well, we were back to blue skies in a heartbeat, and that's been the case for the last few hours in a north to south fashion. And the reasoning is this weak cold front that's working its way through the lower Great Lakes. Out ahead of that cold front, a narrow swath of rain, even a few thunderstorms, but this is all south of I-94 now, even starting to work its way south of the state line. So it's not in our direction anymore, and we'll clear out the rest of this evening. As for temperatures, still sitting in the 60s here at this 6 o'clock hour, a touch cooler towards I-94 where the rain just worked its way through. But numbers this evening into tonight will fall through the 50s, bottoming out in the 40s. Tomorrow we work our way right through the 60s and into the lower to middle 70s by afternoon. Hour-by-hour forecast showcasing a mostly clear sky through tonight. The only exception is for some patchy fog that may develop southward of I-96 with some of the rain that fell earlier this afternoon, just enough moisture near ground level for some patchy fog to develop in the late night hours into around daybreak tomorrow. It should be short-lived, and then we enjoy a sun-filled sky pretty much all of our Wednesday, and that will carry on into Thursday as well. The only exception on Thursday is maybe we could squeeze out an isolated shower east of US 131, but that looks to be the exception rather than the rule. By the way, tonight is the peak of the Lyrid meteor shower. Tonight, in ideal conditions, we could see upwards of 10 to 20 meteors per hour. That would be after midnight to the pre-dawn hours. And you can see that this would be looking towards the eastern half of the sky. You would be looking towards the constellation of Lyra. So interesting note for fans of the night sky. As for the rest of the week, Thursday, we continue that climb into the 70s, mostly sunny sky. Friday, we do have the chance of rain and thunderstorms working back into our forecast. This will likely arrive Friday afternoon and a Friday evening. The good news is that we're not expecting a major rainmaker by any means, and our severe weather risks low as well. We do cool down for the weekend, but we will take 60s both Saturday and Sunday. No complaints there here in April. We'll cool down maybe a little further early next week. It does appear towards the end of the month of April into early May, we might be trending a bit cooler than average for an extended period of time. We'll see how that goes. As for tonight, temperatures falling into the 40s, maybe some upper 30s near US 10. Otherwise, we'll watch out for that patchy fog chance south of I-96. 13 on your side, 7-day forecast, an enjoyable Wednesday and Thursday ahead. Rain and some storms comes later in the day on Friday. And as for the weekend, Julia,
words of 30 miles per hour for the beginning half of the day, and then we start to see the winds subside as we reach our peak temperatures in that upper 60 category for us in Grand Rapids. Again, all in large part to this warm front that's pushing in. What I will say is that our environment is pretty moisture starved, and while a system like this would typically generate a bit more widespread rainfall, we're looking at a really low chance, 20% north of 96, 30% south of 96. Hour by hour forecast here shows that as that little wave of our atmosphere passes through, we could see an isolated shower and maybe even a weak thunderstorm, Kalamazoo to the south. It would be very, very short-lived if we do see anything with partly sunny to mostly sunny skies in between those chances. And here's a look at our rainfall totals, right? Nothing that's going to continue to push us over the edge in terms of our flooding concerns across the area. Our next more widespread chance of rain, that comes on Friday. It's to be a little bit of a higher opportunity for us to see some accumulating rainfall. Low to mid 60s along the lakeshore. Upper 60s inland, upper 60s to low 70s for our southern zone. And again, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Hastings, you have the highest chance to see a brief thunderstorm today. The rest of your 13 on your side, 7-day forecast. Look at all that sunshine that we get to enjoy both Wednesday and Thursday. Certainly going to see more things blooming throughout this week.
Our temperatures continue to fall overnight underneath clear skies down into the 20s. It is going to be a cold start to our Monday. By the afternoon, still expecting some sunshine, which is good, but we are only going to be in the 40s. Improvement after that, so a cold, even freezing Monday morning. If you've got any plants outside, make sure to cover those up. By the time we hit the afternoon, more sun. Now, Tuesday, we do start off still with temperatures in the 30s, but we're back in the 60s by the afternoon with still mostly sunny skies. Even more sunshine into Wednesday with temperatures that will be closer to the 70-degree mark. We will continue this warm-up that lasts with us throughout much of the week ahead and even continuing into next week. Above average temperatures, 60s next Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be soaring past what's average for this time of year and getting to be warmer than average throughout the next about 6 days or so, other than what we're seeing tomorrow. Tomorrow, the colder air mass still is going to dominate our forecast, but that will start to move out as we introduce warmer air into Tuesday and on, continuing throughout much of this work week ahead. So by the time that we hit Wednesday, we're looking at some of our warmest areas. We creep up into the 70s, which carries over into Thursday, but here's what we've gotten to the end of the week. Jet stream starts to pull in a much more active forecast, or at least a bit more of an active forecast, as we are going to be closing out the week ahead. That's going to be our next opportunity for some showers, but until then, we are going to be looking quiet and also pretty warm. Great opportunities to get outside and enjoy the weather this week. As far as what we are expecting for tonight, temperatures are dropping down into the 20s. That's why we're seeing this freeze warning that extends through 11 o'clock Monday morning. Mostly clear skies. Temperatures for our northern zone will be in the lower 20s. It's going to be cold, but remember, further north, growing season has not started yet. That's why the freeze warning is only in effect for our southern counties. Temperatures for our southern zone will be in the mid-20s. The 13 on your side, 7-day forecast. Plenty of sunshine throughout the week ahead with temperatures warming up. Tomorrow's cold, but after that, 60s, 70s in the forecast, and even 60s into next weekend, despite that rain chance on Friday.
First, Grand Rapids has seen over 7 inches of rain. Muskegon, nearly 9 inches of rain. At least everyone's seen about 6 to 7 inches across the area. Now, because of that and the heavy rain we saw at the end of last week, we're seeing numerous river flood warnings and also watches. This is also on the Muskegon River in Bridgeton and Newaygo, but the main focus, like I mentioned, is the Comstock Park area. The Grand River is likely going to crest tomorrow and getting pretty close to major flood stage. Right now, the National Weather Service has it forecasted for 15.7 feet as we head into Tuesday afternoon, when major flood stage is at 16 feet. So we are seeing that river rise continue across the area, and with additional rain chances Thursday and Friday, I don't think the river levels necessarily will be slowing down a whole lot, or at least go down by a whole lot, because we're still expecting quite a bit of rain over the next 10 days. This is the projected rainfall amounts through at least April 16th. But Sam will have your full forecast coming up in just a few seconds.
Southwest Michigan starting to miss out on that, which is some good news. But then we're seeing a lot of these little light blue polygons as well. Those are river flood warnings. So highlighting a couple of those, looking at the White River downstream of the Hesperia Dam because of that potential for dam failure. As we're heading a little bit further south, Muskegon River, that's where we're really going to be keeping a close eye on from the Croton Dam all the way down towards Bridgeton. Now, looking further south of that, Rogue River near Rockford, down towards the Grand River, right around Comstock Park into downtown. That's where still another flood watch, or rather flood warning, has been put into effect, and that extends further south and further east for the Grand River and the Thornapple River too. Now, that's because of all the rain we've seen over the past multiple days, but this is just looking at the past 24 hours, and look at some of these totals. They're really impressive. Already over an inch for Holland is what we've seen over the past 24 hours, and we're not done yet, as we're still seeing some rain out and about, even a couple of thunder showers still. Now, it is very scattered. There are multiple areas that aren't seeing anything and haven't been seeing anything for a couple of hours now, but here's that line of still a few thunder showers, mainly moving through the Kalamazoo area at this point. This will continue to track further east, and we still are expecting a few more showers and thunder showers into this evening, but it does look like this is really going to be lightening up into tomorrow. Now, this has left our temperatures pretty cool throughout much of today. We only topped out close to about 60 degrees this morning, stayed in the 50s throughout much of the day with that cooler air, gloomier skies sticking around, and that has left our temperatures only in the 50s at this point. 58 for Grand Rapids, up to 65 near Kalamazoo. Just generally seeing a lot of 50s, some lower to mid 60s as well, but it is mild, warmer than average compared to this time of year. But after we've had some 70s this week, it is on the cooler side comparatively. Now, we do have warmer conditions into our Fridays. We're closing out this week. We will be seeing additional rainfall into the weekend, though, on Saturday, and that will likely make flooding worse. We're looking at into this weekend to be the time when a lot of our local rivers are cresting. Beyond that, that's going to be a fairly strong cold front, which cools us down significantly into the end of the weekend. Much cooler conditions that we can expect into our Sunday. I'll give you a closer look at our extended forecast coming up in just
the 60s, and that trend will only continue into our Sunday. We'll see a few passing high clouds throughout the day on Sunday. Overall, a very nice day is expected in the 60s. Then here comes that line of showers and storms late in the day on Monday, heading into Monday night, where we could see at least some heavier thunderstorms and a low-end risk right now of severe weather. As of now, the greatest risk of severe weather is well to the southwest of us. We're expecting a pretty robust system, possibly numerous tornadoes, maybe even a tornado outbreak to our southwest in Illinois and portions of Missouri. However, as those storms move into West Michigan, they are expected to weaken. Right now, we are in a level 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather, mainly from Holland to Kalamazoo, but I would not be shocked if that expands further to the north. Over the weekend, though, we're not expecting any severe weather, an overall quiet stretch of weather with lots of sunshine later this afternoon, and then that continues into Sunday with both days generally to upper 60s. That will be short-lived, though. By the time we get to next week, heading into the month of May, cooler than average conditions will return. We'll be mostly in the 50s as we head into May, and that will likely continue through at least the first week of the next month, with temperatures mostly in the 60s. So do keep in mind cooler than average conditions will likely return. 7-day forecast does show we will have a chance of storms, though, Monday night into Tuesday, with temperatures cooling into the 50s by next week.
Just to the east of Lansing, still leaving us with a few isolated showers. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be completely dry today, but I just don't think that we're going to see quite the action that areas surrounding us will. As for your Saturday and Sunday, they both feature sunny skies. And yeah, look at model guidance. I mean, even with those couple isolated cells that we do have developing afternoon until about 5 o'clock, it's still only registering a couple hundredths of an inch at the surface, unless we see an isolated thunderstorm. As for the weekend, we're back underneath mostly sunny skies, upper 60s on Saturday, mid 60s on Sunday. The rest of our 7-day forecast does feature temperatures beginning to drop somewhat into late next week, a little bit below average temperatures by Wednesday and Thursday. Lakeshore communities today, though, certainly cooler than yesterday, in the mid 60s from Muskegon to the north, upper 60s to low 70s for our northern zone, and low 70s for our southern zone. The rest of your 13 on your side 7-day forecast showing off Monday also features a chance for some thunderstorms lingering into your Tuesday morning before drying back out Wednesday into Thursday.